What's up everyone, this is Kaizouwar here. I am super excited to see Bleach finally get a game after so long. And I mean like a console game. And I mean like an actual console fighting game, not like Bleach Brave Souls, which is actually on consoles now. That's not what I mean. But it's nice to see that Rebirth of Souls is here. We're gonna finally play it. And 3 months from now, as of the recording of this video, the roster looks stacked. I am super excited to see everyone. I am just happy to see how good this game looks. I'm just so happy, man. I am beyond happy. Like, looking through these character trailers again, I just like seeing how like good everyone looks and how well realized their gameplay looks in this whole new little engine they're working on. I don't know what the hell engine this is, but it looks amazing with these characters. Like, the developers behind this game aren't Bandai Namco, which thank God. I'm actually super happy that Bandai Namco is not the ones making this game, because they would have effed it up so bad. Instead, the developers behind this game is Tansoft, aka the developers behind the Senran Kagura games. And like, you know what? It's kind of crazy seeing how you went from Senran Kagura to Bleach. It's kind of crazy. And the composer behind the game is Takaharu Ishimoto, who's been known for his Final Fantasy tracks and The World Ends With You. So it's nice to see that we actually have like some good people behind this Bleach game. And Bandai Namco are simply just the publishers. Thank God. I hope they don't F it up, because it worries me seeing, like, look, I don't hate Bandai Namco, but they do some dumb shit, like, a lot of the time. So I'm praying this game comes out good, and I'm praying this game comes out well received, because Bandai Namco could easily F it up with their dumbass choices. Ugh, I'm just glad they're not developing the game. But anyway, it's nice to see that this game even exists at all, man. I've been waiting for a new Bleach game for so long, and I like the roster so far. You know, we got Ichigo, we got Rukia, we got Uryu, we got Byakuya, Yoroichi, Chad, Urahara, Gin, Rangiku, Hitsugaya, Kenpachi. Hell, we even got Ukiura, and a second Ichigo to the mix, who's in his Bankai state, where he can, you know, holofy and have his hollow mask on, and he can even go Vasto Lorde. And hell, even Ukiura can use his resurrection, and then later do Zaguna's Etapa, which is actually pretty sick. And I like that we're now, like, we get confirmation that we're going to cover the Iranka arc too, which is actually super cool. We got Tosen, we got Renji, we got Kira, who's a curveball for me. I never expected Kira to be in the base roster for this game. We got two more Rancard in the form of Nell and Grimmjow. You can't have Bleach without those two nowadays. And Mayuri, and now the last two characters that we know of as of this recording are going to be Aizen and Yamamoto. And apparently Hollow Ichigo, from what I remember, White Ichigo, I gotta say. White Ichigo, separate from Hollow Ichigo. White Ichigo was teased in the very first trailer, all the way back in the announcement trailer, like the very first trailer we've seen. So he was like already teased, so I assume he's going to be a playable character as well. So we got a cool ass roster here. I'm a little bit confused about some choices that should be here already. For example, Orihime, because Orihime is one of the main Bleach characters, arguably the main female character, if not counting Rukia, right? So like, I guess you would say that Orihime is like the second most important female character to Bleach, right? So I figured, why isn't she here? We know Orihime is not like the fighter, but she can fight. She does have attacking moves and stuff like that. She can do stuff. So I wonder why she isn't playable yet. Like, honestly, Orihime is going to be in the game's story mode and stuff like that, because this is covering the events of Bleach, so of course she's going to be there. But I am generally amazed that Orihime isn't even a playable character yet. I'm a little bit confused. But I'm even more confused that Kira is a playable character in the base roster. Like, I guess they wanted to put him in here because maybe there's Kira fans on the team, or maybe they just wanted to figure out how to make his whole Wabisuke waiting ability work in gameplay. I don't know. But seeing Orihime omitted when everyone you expect to be here, being here, is here, it's so weird. Like, I'm confused. Why isn't Orihime here? Hell, why are characters like Shunsui and Ukitake on here? Like, I can understand not putting Ukitake, but Shunsui is by far one of the more popular Bleach characters. And I can probably tell he's probably going to be a character in the first season pass, which, yes, this game's going to have a season pass. This is a current day fighting game. It's going to have a season pass. Duh. But it's crazy to see that, like, it's crazy to even think about characters that I would want to see in the base roster of this game, probably going to be the DLC characters. Like, for example, I can already tell characters like Shunsui or Shuhei or Komamura or Haribel, like, those characters are going to be DLC characters. I can just feel it in my bones, bro. Because again, Yamamoto is going to be like the last character we're probably going to get announced before. My theory right now is that Yamamoto is going to be the last character who's going to be in the base roster, and then later on characters are going to be like announcements for characters that are going to be in the season pass, which, I mean, I'm not happy with, I wouldn't be happy with that idea, but I would understand why. It would make sense to end on Yamamoto. Hell, it made more sense to end on Aizen. I thought Yamamoto was going to come before Aizen, but whatever. But I don't know, man. I really would like to see a couple more characters before we end. Like, again, Orihime should definitely be in here. She's like literally too important to Bleach to not be in here, right? I feel like characters like Ikaku definitely should have been here, especially since Ichigo has to fight him in the Soul Society arc, right? I don't think they're going to skip that fight because I even see the fight he has in one of the release trailers. They show the fight that he had against Jadambo. So Jadambo is in the game, not as a playable character yet, I guess, but as a giant boss battle. And Ichigo does fight Ikaku in the Soul Society arc. So, I feel like Ikaku would definitely have to be in the game in some form. And eventually he'll have to be playable, right? Like, I feel like I'm genuinely amazed they didn't get all of Ichigo's like main like fighters out the way first, because Ikaku is one of them. I'm genuinely amazed that he's not like fought against. Like, you're not gonna put him in the game as a playable character yet. He's probably gonna be DLC, which of course he would be. Like, I guess, I don't know, but overall the roster is really good. I definitely, again, I really wish there would be more characters. Like, again, the Vizards, because like if they're gonna go over to the Arrancar arc, the Vizards do come before the Arrancar arc. So I feel like they would have to have the Vizards here, right? I'm a little bit confused about that. I'm genuinely amazed characters like Shinji isn't here yet. Like, I figured of all people, Shinji would have been announced already. They just went straight to the Arrancar. They didn't even bother announcing the Vizards, which I guess is appropriate. I guess no one gives a damn about the Vizards, I guess. But then I'm just surprised that Shinji hasn't even been announced yet. I'm just amazed, right? So I don't know. But my understanding is that they're going to cover all the events from the early Bleach, like the Substitute Shinigami arc, all the way to the end of Deicide, which is when Aizen's defeated. Because in Aizen's trailer, you definitely see him shifting through all his forms, like his chrysalis form, then the form where he breaks out and gets longer hair, then he gets his wings, and I assume that like maybe the story mode is going to end off on Final Getsuga Ichigo versus like the final form of Aizen, where he has like all those heads and on his wings and shit. And when his face rips into that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's where the story mode is going to end on. It would be actually super cool to end on that, Dangai Ichigo / Final Getsuga Ichigo versus Aizen. I think that's how it's going to end. And maybe they're going to do DLC later on about the Fullbringers and then 1,000-Year Blood War, that kind of stuff. So, I don't know, but it's nice to see that this game exists at all. I'm super excited, super hyped. Here's hoping we see more, because I definitely want to see more. I definitely want to see what they're going to do with this. I'm hyped. I'm beyond hyped.